if we want to. Okay. Hello and welcome to LeagueCast episode 171. It's the 1st of April, and on that note, we've stopped playing League of Legends and we're just going to do Dota 2. Just kidding, April Fools. My name is Christopher Puner, and with me this week I have a Rick Vivishu.
I am here, everyone.
Hi. We've also got an Alex Whitehair.
Hey, what's up?
And Alex Henderson.
Hi.
Nick the King Cooper.
Hello.
And the dashing, the handsome, the wonderful, the one and the only Matt Hillman.
God damn it. Can't you say my name?
Master of math and all things numbers.
Say my name.
Okay,
You
all right.
remember that song?
I saw your mouth was a little bit full. I was trying to buy you some time, but you started chewing slowly. Like, what is he doing?
I was like,
I'm gonna run out of adjectives. Swallow your food. Welcome to LeagueCast. I apologize for not being here last week. I was off doing a mini 2-day vacation in Wisconsin. And these fine gentlemen did a wonderful job without me. And by wonderful, I mean, wow, that was a rough beginning to that show. But it was.
I surely don't know what you mean.
They gave me the file to edit, and Whitehair didn't say a damn thing to me. Just uploads it, just lets me have it, and then goes to work or something. I'm listening to it, and Nick's playing, I think, Dark Souls or other masochistic things in a corner, and I was like, I'm listening to it, and it just got shit at the beginning. And just everybody's making comments of, wow, Chris is going to hate us, and oh my gosh, Chris, I'm sorry for this, blah blah blah. I happened to a channel like, Nick, I'm listening to LeagueCast, he goes, I'm sorry. Something to that effect. Anyway, but this is a new show, episode 171. I missed 170. Damn, happy April Fools. I hope that nothing bad happened to you, and hopefully only good things. We'll talk about good things related to League of Legends in a minute or two. But what I want to know is, in these past 7 days, what have y'all been doing in League of Legends? Specifically, let's start with Mr. Rick.
Oh, dude, I played Bard for the first time.
Yeah, how did that go?
Well, I know you're asking because for the people at home, Chris was
Right.
there with me.
We had a great
It turns out if you play Bard in Earth mode, at the start of the game, that portal's on a 4-second cooldown.
It's hilarious.
You can just start putting portals up everywhere and go back and forth and all around in circles. Good time. It's a good time. I'm glad they brought Earth mode back though. I think it's fun every once in a while to play for a little bit.
Yeah.
I am disappointed though that the April Fool's version, the new Earth mode, didn't get even any playtime at all. I really would have done that at least once.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too coming up. I was gonna mention it in my section.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, but yes, someone in the chat just said Rick on Bard and Earth is OP. That is maybe true. I don't know. I do like
I think his Q is spammable and ridiculous.
It
because
is.
of
It is. I do like that. I like his character though. I like that they pull in more stuff from Dota. 'Cause I
Check
don't
shot.
remember Yeah, is that what's the name of that character? Is that the name
Windrunner.
of that character?
Yeah.
Shot. Is the giant I
It's
think
actually
the only
Wind Ranger.
Oh, whatever.
the
They
only
changed it.
difference is that he doesn't get affected by his ult, and Bard does, and I kind of like that Bard does. It makes it even cooler when you manage to pull it off and get out of that circle before
Yeah.
it hits.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Neat. So that's it?
Yeah.
Mr.
Talk about Bard this
Mr. Whitehead.
Yo,
How did League of Legends go? Did you play any rank? You play some Earth mode? Do customs with friends?
Did
or
some
did you
Earth
just...
mode.
Okay.
and I still don't really like it. I didn't really care for it last time. I don't know. It's fun to play a little bit. I'm sure I'll play more games, but it just kind of feels like the game is decided by the champions entirely, and not so much the player skills. So it's just whoever picks the most OP characters, team will win, regardless of how their team did, early game or mid game. Once late game rolls around, it's just whoever has Maokai on their team, or Sona seems to not be fun at all either. I don't know.
Okay.
So I played Sivir, and I felt like she was really, really fun early game, and then late game just became useless, even though I'd built tons
Yeah.
of flat AD and armor pen, and had a 2-second cooldown on her boomerang blade. And I wanted to be like an 80 caster, but it just didn't work, and it was nothing compared to people like Xin Zhao just like flies in there and just constantly is just knocking you up and slowing you. And it's like there's nothing you can do.
I was playing Azir, and Azir was insane.
Yeah, that looked like a lot of fun. I do want to give that a try.
Yeah. All right, cool. Alex Henderson.
Oh, I did some Earth. Lost some more ranked games. You know, the standard.
The usual.
I mean, the biggest thing, I tried Vigar and Earth before we started recording tonight. That was... Okay, he would be a lot of fun if I wasn't playing against Zed mid lane, because I literally couldn't get close enough to get a Q off without eating 2 or 3 shurikens, so... didn't go too well for me. We did, however, win that game because we had an AP Shaco go 30-2. So, you know.
Okay.
Oh, Shaco sounds like garbage on that. Oh god. Those invisibility.
He did really well. I don't know, man.
The poof. No, I mean garbage in like I would hate to play again.
Right.
Oh, no.
Like the
I can believe
invisibility,
that.
dude, popping all over the place.
Yeah. Holy Christ, that game was disgusting. I want to play some more Vigar in there because I really like spamming his Q and having his ult on a 20-second cooldown. His E is still just as useless as it was before, though.
Okay. Nick Cooper.
Hey, you remember my name?
I did.
I saw you were looking at me like, fuck, what's it? It's like,
It's
what's that guy?
it's under you. I had just finished yawning, so I was still recovering.
Oh, that's what
Um,
those words mean?
Right. Yes.
Through your name? Okay.
It's just, yep.
I didn't play much League this week because I have a pretty hectic work schedule now. But I think I played Vigar in a normal game, and that wasn't very fun. I don't think he's good. Not that he was good before. I think he's worse.
Okay. I mean, okay. Specifics?
His stun is the worst skill in League of Legends.
You're right. He went from the best to the worst.
You're not wrong.
Did you play any ranked?
Did we play ranked 5 this week or last week?
We did a little bit this week.
Oh yeah, that was this week where I tried my very hardest to carry my garbage teammates. But boy,
man.
that was not
2
happening.
games in a row.
2 games in a row.
We had a good time.
we had some rough games, but they were fun at the end of the day.
Had a good time. Yeah, I like
placed
how
in
we won.
bronze 1.
We won against plat teams and we lost against like middle silver gold teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because we weren't really
Well-
trying.
You're right.
Some of us lost.
Wow. Okay, Nick Cooper. It's a team game for a reason.
Hey, I was trying to keep it positive.
But yeah, so we did that, and it was the thing.
Yeah,
I had fun.
it was fun.
Matt Holman,
Yeah, dude.
you were also there for those ranked 5 games, so you don't need to tell me about that. But I want to know about you specifically. I want to know about your personal path, League of Legends related, for this past week. How's that going?
Okay, I will. I'm currently still silver 2. Kind of going up and down in silver 2. Win some, lose some. Typical. I just need to find my niche for this season because I've been trying out jungle a little bit. I've been trying out AD carry. I think I just need to focus on one role and play it. And maybe it's AD carry because I went 15-2 and 9 on Jinx, 18-6 and 19 on Ezreal. There's a LeBlanc game in there, 21-6 and 10. Yeah, that was pretty good. So I mostly won this week, which was good. And I haven't played any Earth mode because it came out today and I was at work all day. So haven't played it yet. Probably will at some point. Maybe. Probably not. I don't like Earth mode.
You say
But
that.
anyway.
You say that, but the champions that came out since then, like Azir, awesome. I want to know how.
I still think Ezreal's going to be the best.
I
Ezreal
haven't
was the best
seen
last
him.
time,
I haven't
so.
seen him played at all, actually.
Really?
I
Yeah.
played against him. He steamrolled.
Yep. He does. It's hard to put his Q on a lower cooldown, but when you do, it's pretty fucking broken.
They did a couple of things they changed it, but I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about that in other parts of the show.
Okay.
Let's.
So wait.
Yes.
Quick, because I haven't played it yet. It is Earth mode, right? It's not this nerf mode they were talking about.
Right, we'll talk about that when we get on with the show.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, speaking of the rest of the show, let's move into the first segment, which is Rising News with Mr. Whitehair.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the Rising News. And good news, there is a new game mode. It's called Nerf Mode. So do you ever feel like League of Legends is a little bit too fast-paced and a little bit, too skewed towards the people who have really fast reflexes? Well,
Yes.
Don't worry about it, because there's a new game mode coming out just for you. It's called Nerf Mode, which is an acronym for New Ultra Rapid Fire Mode. But don't be fooled by the Ultra Rapid Fire, it's pretty slow. Things like your cooldowns are doubled, your attacks are much slower, you have a really, really high crit chance, except when you crit, you're going to do 50% damage instead of 200% damage. And, all kinds of other things to make sure that the game really is a strategic one. But, when they tried to apply that, somebody spilled an energy drink on the computer, and it screwed stuff up.
Freak.
And oh no. Yeah, that I
Figured they just
really
let him
like
loose
that.
in the freaking server room again.
And I love that that's been like our running joke on LeagueCast for like the longest time, that somebody let Freak in there and he like spilled something on the computer or just started pressing buttons and like broke something, because that's the excuse like they use this time. But yeah, so that was the original plan for Nerf Mode, and that was what they were teasing, but it is now Ultra Rapid Fire Mode, just like last year. There are a few changes, but I didn't really play it that much last year, so I don't know all of them. But I believe last year, there were a lot of people were banned, but this year they made a lot of individual changes to people. Like Hecarim is now playable, but I think they changed him to make him not as broken or something. I don't know. Does
There were
I
a
know with
couple of
Sona, they basically completely removed healing.
Yeah, they made it so healing is super ineffective at the early stages of the games and gets a little bit more effective as it goes on. That way you can't just spam heal spells nonstop. But yeah, it's the same Earth mode we all know and love. You don't have to worry about mana. There's 80% cooldown reduction. Summoner spells have reduced cooldowns on them. The damage and health values are all inflated, so like you're auto attacking for like 3 million damage and stuff like that. It's just the good old craziness that we all remembered and loved from last year. Well, most of us. I guess I wasn't part of that group.
Well, that's because you have bad taste.
I wasn't a huge fan of it either, don't worry, because it just felt like people figured out which ones were good and then played nothing but those champions for the remainder of the time that the game was out.
That's exactly why I don't like it as a game mode.
I feel like we
It's
should
almost
ban,
like
10 champions.
It's almost like regular League of Legends.
And then
But at
it
least
didn't-
regular League of Legends, you can do something against them. You can
Yeah,
build.
fuck.
You can build to
But-
alter. Like Zed has counterplay, but in Earth
Yeah.
mode, Zed doesn't have counterplay.
Right, so I think the big problem here is that you guys are complaining about balance in a game mode which is supposed to be just around you fucking around and having a good time.
But
How can
it's
I have
not
a good
fun.
time when I am alive for a grand total of 30 seconds before I get assassinated by the first Zed, Ezreal, or horse that walks out of the fog?
Right, then you just play that champion the next time if your
But what if I don't want to play that?
if your definition of fun is
then
winning.
I don't get to play the mode?
If your
No,
definition
the
of fun is
isn't
winning,
winning, but dying every time you walk into lane isn't fun.
I mean, there are certain things you can buy to counterplay that. Guardian Angel, just offensively, a couple of
Oh,
other
I only have to
things.
spend 2,600 gold to get to play the game.
Right. So it did
You're
pretty
looking at
much
it wrong.
right.
Once every 5 minutes.
You're
Yeah.
looking at it wrong, though. It's not about winning.
It's not about winning, but
Oh,
actually
I
getting
like to play
the
games
game.
where I don't spend 60% of my time dead.
Right, so the other person is being a tryhard and being kind of a jerk. So you play this mode in custom with like a couple of friends. Oh, you can't do that anymore, can you?
No, you probably can, and that would be okay.
And there's
The
also
problem-
co-op versus AI if you want to do that. They made that available this
The
year.
problem arises when there becomes a meta for Earth, and that's when it becomes a terrible game mode. That's what happened at the very end of Earth last season, when it was Ezreal, Karma, Nidalee every single game.
It
Mhm.
also doesn't make me very happy that fucking all year, bring back Earth! Bring back Earth! From everywhere.
Earth was awesome.
Yeah.
Just, I don't think it's all that great.
I mean, and just like anything else that certain people enjoy and certain people don't, you're gonna have different opinions. I just don't want the view to be laced in you missing the point. So if your argument is going to be that you didn't get a chance to play it as much because some people were being jerks and taking advantage of the game and stuff like that. Like, that's a fair point. But I didn't want it to be, well, because I was losing and I wasn't having fun because I couldn't. It was I couldn't win because that's not what it's about. It's about just stupid fun. Stupid fun.
Yeah, just screwing around.
It's a video game version of League of Legends. Back when it used to be just a fun video game that we all played.
It's a
Right.
game within a game,
Right.
if you will. We just have to go one layer deeper,
Trippy.
and then we can have Gameception. We'll bring
You're not
Leo
wrong.
on.
You're not
We'll
wrong.
have him do a Earth-tational game with
If
like,
his head gets any wider, he's going to be up for the role of Stewie Griffin in the at the live action Family Guy movie.
Oh my god, that is a casual cast reference. Haha. But speaking of the Earth-tational mode, just today, April 1st, there was a game where a bunch of pro players played the Earth. Did anybody watch that? Or
No.
were you going to talk about that?
I
Nick?
watched
Happened
it.
already. I totally missed it.
I
Jeez.
watched it.
And how was
Okay.
it?
It was fun to watch. The commentary made me want to kill myself
Ooh.
because they were doing the whole thing where it's like pretending it's like the 1950s, but pretending that it's also the 1800s, and then the music's from the 1600s, and using like really bad British accents. It's like that
Oh.
really cheesy, memey kind of online thing, which is
Like
fine in
I'd have
small
to see
bursts,
it.
but they didn't stop. They kept it up the entire game. It's crazy. There was some cool points. They did some cool stuff.
Okay.
Go
I
back
think
and
there's a
look
VOD
at
of it up somewhere, so
Yeah, there's gonna
if
be
you
at
missed
least.
Oh, sure.
There's some fun. They do like substitutions and stuff, and they let like Freak be a team coach and let them talk to him the entire time
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And he's in a suit. I don't know. It's all right.
That's
Did
neat.
Freak's team win?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
But there's like Reggie and Hotshot GG and like all those, all the Skara, all the old boys.
That's
A
nice.
lot of them at least. Yeah,
Was
it's
Cutie
fun.
Pie back?
No, I don't think so. I didn't see
Voy?
all of it.
Was Voy there?
I think
no,
Boy
but-
actually wasn't. I think he played Zillion.
Oh really? Same Fishes was there.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Didn't
I gotta
have a
go
good
watch
time.
my boy play. Oh, he didn't.
I don't know how many
so.
games they did. I only watched one, so I don't know if they did more than one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they did. I think they just did one, but I could be mistaken. But, you know, in addition to all of this other stuff happening for Earth mode, there is a special going on in the store where you can get an Earth figure, and also another random one comes with that for $25. Normally, all of the figures cost $25, so you're basically getting, you know, two for the price of one, where one's guaranteed to be Earth. So that's kind of cool. If you were thinking about getting one, now is probably the time to do it if you're not too particular about it, or if you were planning on getting the Earth one anyway. 'Cause
Are they
he's
the
pretty
little?
cool.
Are they like the little
The
chibi
little
versions?
ones, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to give a shout out to a listener of the show, Magnetitan. He sent me this one. He sent me the Nautilus one. Look how cute this is.
Wow.
Wow,
Isn't
that's
that
awesome.
Isn't that adorable?
Yeah.
That is.
It's really like I didn't realize how cool and well detailed these things are. Like
So if you
neat.
buy the Earth, you get another
you
one.
get a
randomly?
second one
Yeah.
randomly for free.
Shit.
And the Earth one's pretty cute too. He's got a little fish on his, like, he's got like a belt going across his chest, and he's got his lobster bib and his spatula. He's got a
Need to get
fish
one.
tucked in the belt, and he's got like a chain gun on his back. So yeah, he's pretty cute. One of the pictures for scale has a mug next to him. I would love to have a like Earth mug. That's what I
Mhm.
would buy. I wouldn't buy one of the figurines. I want something that's actually functional. But maybe they'll add stuff like that to their store at some point. But anyway, finally up on the chopping block of news this week, there was a little bit of mention on the boards about a Poppy rework, where people were saying like, hey, so Poppy's one of those characters that you know, has been talked about that she needs some work done to make her fit better into the current game, but she, like, you know, nothing's been said about it. So Medler popped in and kind of said like, hey, you know, it's mostly too early to talk about any specifics, but it's pretty safe to say that her passive and her ult are going to be replaced, but that she's going to keep her current E, which is the wall slam. And some people were like, hey, you know, if you're keeping the E, what about giving her an ability that generates terrain? And I guess they're like, hey, you know, good idea. We thought of that too, and we tested it. And we found that giving her a terrain generation ability on top of the E made it less of a thing to play around. Like, you know, when you're laning against Poppy, you try not to get in between the wall and her, and she's constantly trying to like do that, and it's like kind of a dance that you're doing. adding a terrain generation ability kind of got rid of that counterplay and stuff and just made it less interesting because she could just get you anywhere and just had a guaranteed stun if she comboed 2 abilities. So that's probably not a route that they're going to go. But that being said, they also are possibly going to be doing a new voiceover for her because she's really old and only has a limited number of lines.
Yeah.
But that's not for sure if that's going to happen. But it might be something we see. But that's going to be it for the Rising news this week. I thought
Cool.
Henderson might like to hear about that stuff, though.
Yeah, I like it.
All right,
Poppy's,
cool.
The Poppy rework's always an interesting topic for me because I'm half expecting her to no longer do any of the fun things that she does now. You know, like dive into a team of 5, murder 3 of them, and then run out cackling.
Oh, the days. Speaking of Henderson, let's move into the Meta Kaiser.
Screw the Metakaiser. I made some trivia.
Okay.
Oh.
I got lots of them.
Okay.
Hold on.
Let's
Let's
do
set, up,
this.
let's set up a little bit of scoring here. So we got Nick,
The king,
Cooper. Chris. The boy.
the
Hillman,
puner.
The Punes.
Fake Alex,
Oh my God!
Oh,
Shots
shots
fired.
and Rick. Oh,
Shots.
There's Rick already.
I'm here already.
Okay. So first off, which was the first skin to be released with a changed voiceover?
Gentleman Cho'Gath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Nailed
On the
it.
nose.
Already.
How did I know that one? Because Rick bought that skin and he was like,
Nope.
"There's a different voice pack."
That was Henderson. I didn't buy that skin.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have that skin?
I have
No,
it.
sir.
It was probably me.
Oh shit! It was probably Henderson.
No, dude, I run Sea Monster Cho'Gath.
Right.
Blue
Oh yeah,
Cho'Gath.
that's right. That's
Right.
right. That's
Or
right.
or blue. I like the blue
Loch
one
Ness Cho'Gath, or
too.
whatever.
You got it.
was.
He's
yeah.
all like
And Nightmare Cho'Gath.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
All right.
I like those.
All right.
Scuba
How many
Gragas.
R's are used to spell parlay?
3.
7.
Blank Q.
5,
6.
Nope.
4.
8,
3.
8,
Nope.
6,
3.
7.
Oh,
2.
Nick got it.
I said 3
He
times.
said 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
he
you? I
did.
missed all
Yes.
3 of them.
Right.
That's why I was like, oh, it's over.
You said 3 times. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Uh-oh.
April Fools.
All hail Gay Ben. Which champion's ultimate uses the riot symbol in its animation?
Oh, Malphite.
Malphite.
Rick got it.
His ultimate?
It's
I
not his
thought
ultimate.
it
It's
was
actually his
E.
ground pound.
It's his E.
Yeah.
But
It's
It's
ground
his
pound.
E?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
All
Please
right,
read
points,
that.
We
points
knew
for
what he
Chris and
meant.
I.
Shit, close enough.
Points for Chris
I
and
said
I.
Malphite pretty fast anyway.
I heard Malphite first.
That's Malphite. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Malphite from Rick first. Whatever. He's the only one with the riot symbol in there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I'll take those points.
Whatever.
Singular.
Whatever. Whatever.
Where the docs
I'll
go?
take
There they
those.
go.
Take
Okay,
all of those points.
Next one up. Name the 5 champions that can infinitely scale in stats.
Nasus.
Viger.
That's 2 of them.
Scion.
3.
Fuck.
We got. Wait. Who do we get? We got Nasus,
more?
Viger.
Oh, Thresh. And
Thresh is 1.
Bard.
Shit.
Yep. No, Bard is also 1. That's it.
So how are you gonna score that?
Each one's gonna be 1 point. So we
Okay.
got 2 for Nick, 2 for Hillman, and then
For
god
Alex.
dang it.
I-
One for fake Alex.
Yeah, 1 for fake Alex.
Well.
One for white hair. Sorry, white hair.
Sorry, fake Alex. You
Oh,
don't. You
he
don't.
looks so sad.
You don't look sad.
Look, he's drinking his depression away.
It's the safest way to do it.
Tears in my beers. That's a good band name.
What
You
are the
just do
3
Tears for Fears
champions
songs
with the
drunk.
Woad skin?
Sorry,
Ash.
say it again.
Ash.
Sorry, I was making a
Oh,
joke.
yes.
Okay, so many people said that at first. I know Nick got 2 of them.
Oh,
What's the
I
question?
said Ash
Quit
first.
Astarias.
I said Ash before he did.
What's the
Alright,
question?
I'm
I'm
gonna have
making
to leave
jokes.
Chris on this
The
one.
Woad
I didn't hear the
Ash. I
question
mean the
because Rick
Woad.
was talking.
What
I
Woad
was making a
skins?
joke.
What's
I have
the
the right to make
question?
jokes on this
2 for
podcast.
me, 1 for Chris.
We were just chilling. Rick and I were
That's cool.
talking, not really paying
Yeah.
attention.
I would listen to
Yeah.
a drunk Tears for Fears cover band.
Listen to some cover bands that do Tears for Fears covers.
You're right.
Alright. With his rework, Scion now has a joke that is only spoken around one specific champion. What is this champion?
Jarvan.
Zyra.
Nope.
Darius?
Nope.
Garen.
Nope.
Victor.
Gaben.
Nope.
Yorick.
He
Swain?
is also a Noxian champion.
Swain?
Talon.
Nope. Nope.
Oh shit, you guys said Swain.
Swain?
Poppy.
Swain.
Draven. Draven.
Corky.
Zach.
He was also reanimated.
Zach? Shit.
Urgot!
There we go. Cooper got it.
Damn it.
God, should be kidding me.
All right, the joke itself is Urgot, we can't hang out anymore. I'm cool now.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Wow. Rude.
Right? What champion shares a voice actor with Sona?
Oh God.
Annie.
Listen.
Listen.
Lissandra.
When you said shares a voice actor with Sona.
Jana.
Oh, there we go, Jana.
Fuck.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Support main coming in strong.
Thresh. Alistar.
Thresh, yeah.
Nessus.
Rek'Sai.
All right.
Ness.
There are 9 champions that don't have any skills that scale off of ability power. Name 3 of them.
Riven.
Vayne.
Ash.
That's 2 of them.
Draven.
Nope. Draven, there we
What?
go.
Oh,
Nick got
fuck,
2,
never
we got
mind.
1.
Thank
Ashes.
you.
Ash skills.
Nick's like steamrolling here.
Because I'm like
It's
thinking
trivia,
instead of
of
just
course I am.
yelling shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
So
I
the
actually know
entire
these.
list of
I
that
know.
is,
You're right. Nerd.
Darius, Draven, Garen, Olaf, Riven, Talon, Vayne, Zed. I didn't write one of them down. Shit.
Oh right, they ruined Vayne. That's right.
There's one more, but I didn't write
They
it
made
down.
Vayne not fun anymore.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Forgot.
When
Yeah, that
they
took away her
remove
AP scaling.
Yeah,
I don't
her
think
E.
she ever scaled. With
Yeah, her
I
E
don't think
scaled.
she ever did.
Her
No,
condemned.
her E scaled with
condemned
AP
did.
because you used to play her AP.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. At least.
Rick played everything. Remember when?
used to-
Remember when we were? There's the validation for roaming when they were first talking about team building. You're like, I invented that role.
Yep.
All right, so I'm not entirely 100% certain if this one was an April Fool's joke or not, but we're gonna go ahead and pretend that it isn't. Who
Okay.
was recently signed as High's replacement on Cloud9?
Oh God.
That is an April Fool's joke because
Are
there's
you
no
It
way,
is.
sure?
right?
Are
Yeah,
you
it
sure?
is.
Benny?
Yeah.
Because it was from
Faker.
their
Jets.
website, and I haven't
Faker.
heard anything
Man
otherwise.
Cloud.
Faker.
No, it's not Man
Void Boy.
Reggie.
Nope.
Bjergsen.
Shit.
No.
Sven Skaren. Crepo.
He's European.
Freak.
Oh, freak.
Froggen.
Yeah.
Shocks.
Frog.
Obviously.
Shocks.
Alex Itch.
No.
Deficio.
He was unbanned 2 days ago.
Ocelot.
Oh,
Oh.
Incarnation.
Correct.
Frost
Wow.
just mentioned that too, and I wasn't paying attention.
So I'm not certain if that's actually an April Fool's joke or not.
I'm
but
sure it's April Fool's.
Oh god, I don't know, dude. It sounds like High's been like having wrist issues, so much so that it would be understandable if he wanted to step down. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I guess we'll find out.
yeah, it's hard to tell. But worst case scenario, we just quizzed you on an April Fool's joke. All right. Not sure if this one survived the lore hammer either, but we're gonna go with it anyway. Who was childhood friends with Jarvan IV?
Garen.
Garen.
Jesus.
That one was pretty easy. I didn't even know it. I'm
What?
thinking Garen?
Dude, I said
you got
that. I
you
said
got
it
real
too.
fast.
What the hell?
All right, who? Do we both get
I-
points?
I'm giving that one to Chris.
Yeah, I need
Because
it.
I heard it at the same
Got him.
time and Nick's ahead, so go fuck yourself, Nick.
All right.
There you go.
That's how sports work.
Exactly.
That was a really
What
good.
champion
okay.
has an ultimate by the name of Vengeful Maelstrom?
Jana.
Isn't that Malzahar?
No.
Maokai.
Nick got it.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Fuck.
That is the dumbest name for any champion I've ever heard.
It doesn't really match what it is.
Champion skill.
you
Yeah,
know?
'cause it's like, I don't get how that's a Maelstrom. I understand how it's vengeful, though.
That would be a
Whatever,
good.
I
That
miss
would be a
my
good name
kind.
for Yasuo's ultimate.
Yeah, it would.
It would.
What is it now?
Sort of.
Hey, this is trivia and trivia. What's Yasuo's ultimate?
Yasuo's ultimate.
Last breath.
Last breath. It is.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Give me a
Uh,
point, Nick.
You win.
Which champion currently has the highest win rate?
Sejuani.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. 56.6, I believe.
and that's on the lower end of her win
I don't
streak.
think any of us are playing anymore. I think Nick is just playing.
I think it's just trivia between Henderson and Nick.
That's
I'm
got
stacking on
five.
these-
The lowest win rate.
I've got
Picked up
twice
these-
as many points.
I
as-
picked
Nope.
up these popped sweet oat crisps. I'm eating
Bark.
blackberry pomegranate.
Nice.
They're pretty good. You should pick them up. They're
Okay.
Walmart.
LeBlanc.
Nope.
Wait, what was the?
LeBlanc's actually second.
What's the
highest.
question?
Varus.
What's the
Ash.
Zed?
Quaker oats.
Jinx.
Nope.
The
I don't know
question
the
is
question.
who has the
Who has the
lowest
lowest
win rate?
Oh,
Poppy.
Azir.
Nope. Relatively new champion.
Nar.
Bard.
Bard.
Nar.
Nope. It's Bard.
Rick got that one.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
did he?
I got
Yeah,
that
dude.
Rick
one.
said that. Rick said that just before I did.
Okay.
I
We're
think
tied.
this makes a good point. We should test Nick Cooper for steroids.
Yeah, dude. Can't you see how
Dude,
swole I am?
pee in my mouth, and I'll let you know in a week.
Usually they're pretty instant.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
if Chris is feeling
if
a
you're,
lot of strong.
the,
Chris, I don't think that's how that works, buddy.
the doctors they take the cup in the back, and they all just stand around like the water cooler,
They
just
just
like,
pour it in the crispy.
and you just, yep. Well,
No, they slurp. They gotta let it hit the whole time.
That's too many
That's a
strongs. That's too many strongs per
all right.
milliliter.
Let's give Hillman a chance here. First person to
Yeah.
name one of the top 10 most banned champions gets 5
Zed.
points.
Rek'Sai.
Oh shit! It was Chris.
Woo.
I didn't even answer.
I know
Should've
because
said
Nick
Sichuan.
Cooper plays. I'm sorry, I don't know. Our friend Frost plays a lot of League of Legends, and he bans Zed every single game.
Oh, I don't know why.
Exactly. That's a good idea.
We're not having
That's
this
a
discussion.
throwback.
We're not having this fucking discussion.
Currently, the 10 most banned champions are Sejuani, LeBlanc, Aurelia, Nidalee, Katarina, Horse, Zed, Fizz, Vi, and Lissandra.
You
Sounds
see
about
all
right.
those champions before Zed, Chris,
Mm-hmm.
that we should have banned.
I mean, you're not wrong.
All right, one last question. What is the most popular non-trinket item bought in the shop?
Longsword,
Boots.
Nope.
Ruby
Darn
Crystal,
Blade.
Completed item. Sorry.
Merc Treads,
Infinity Edge.
Boost Mobility.
Infinity Edge.
Are you serious?
There's 280 carries
That's
in every
it.
game, Chris, and they all buy Infinity Edge.
All right, Nick crushed all of you with 12 points. Chris came in second with 7. Matt in
Whoa!
third with 5. White hair in fifth with 1, and then Rick in fourth with 2. Did that
Hey.
out of order.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Reading them in the right order.
Who's taking the victory lap around your house?
All right, so Chris wasn't in second. I don't know what happened with the adding, but there's no physical way that could have happened. There weren't that many
Yeah, you
questions.
won
So I
5
had
points
to-
for being
had
the
to go
first
do
one
my
name one of the top
victory
most
lap.
banned champions.
Oh, that was worth 5 points?
That's why I said it.
Oh, I said Sejuani or some shit.
After I beat you, you had to name one, and I beat you to it.
Okay, well, sorry I didn't pick the shortest name of a champion in the game.
Wow.
Not my fault.
Wow.
You suck at this game.
Hey,
Hillman
he's
salty at trivia.
he's tied with Zach and Cassidy for shortest names.
Did you say Cassidy?
I thought you were just gonna let it go. I was really excited, be like, I said Cassidy, you fuck. Cassiopeia.
Yeah, you could have just said Cass. That's 2, right?
Cass or
It
Cass.
counts for
That's 2 letters, yes.
Cat or cat.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. All right.
That's all I got this week.
All right. Cool. Thanks for the trivia, Kaiser. Let's move into let's do that round table thing.
What kind of table?
A round table?
Please
What
no.
kind of table?
Please
A
stop,
pizza
stop,
table?
Stop.
A
No.
pizza?
How about April Fool's joke? You don't make this joke.
Oh,
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm thinking a circular table, madam.
All right, so welcome to Round Table, everybody. Tonight, we have a brilliant thing in store for you today. Tonight, in this round table. Man, I'm bad at this. Like, don't let me
Yeah,
talk
what's the
anymore.
I
fucking
love it.
question?
I love it every single week. It's
Hey,
great.
Chris,
so
do you want to
fucking
answer the
bad.
question?
No.
All right, so last week's roundtable question was: you're forming a band. Which champions are with you, and what do you play, and what do they play? Got a lot of actually email responses this week, which is awesome. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can email me, Hillman at LeagueCastPodcast.com. That's Hillman with 2 L's and 2 N's, and I will read your responses. I'm going to read all of the email responses because they're all really great. All of our responses are great, but I'm going to read these ones. So Doom says he has Swain on vocals, Draven on lead guitar, Darius on bass, Warwick on drums, Victor on synth and keyboard, and Singed is the manager. It's called Nevermore, Never Fall, all one name.
Cool.
Okay. And then we had one from Shuri. Shuri's band is great. It's him and Amumu and Malphite, and the kind of music that they play is a combination between rap and rock.
Okay.
And in his email, he actually put boo. He booed himself for the bad pun, which was great. And he spelled rap W-R-A-P.
Yeah, no, I got
So,
it. I got the joke.
It's,
I got
pretty,
the
it's
joke.
pretty funny. I thought it was funny. Okay, so then we got a response from Jason. He didn't leave his handle, so it's Jason. Draven on lead vocals. This guy has the charisma and energy to make a good show, a great show. Timo on the wind instruments. I like it. From jazz flute to moody clarinet to ska trumpet. Ska?
Ska.
I think he meant ska. We know this little guy can blow. Jax on percussion. Something about Jax just screams, I want to take some sticks and beat skins with them for days. Yeah, that sounds about right. Shavana on the keyboard, and she's also the pyro, the chick that knows how to add some flair to her melody. Yi on lead guitar. I can see this guy shredding pretty hard. He's got fast hands that's never a bad quality in a band. Mundo on bass. Picture the after parties with Mundo and all the guitar smashing on stage. This guy is solid gold. And then finally, Scion and Alistar are the roadies / bouncers. These two are made for lifting speakers and bouncing troublemakers. He says, I guess I'll be left as the band manager since I'm just the boring one. Which, hey, if you put a band together, you deserve a cut of that shit.
You do.
So there you go.
You're right.
Yeah. And then last email response that I got was from Elias. He says vocals Nautilus for that metalcore growl. Drums is Zillion because he can keep time. Guitar is Bard because he's a bard. Yeah, right? Kind of makes sense. Bass is Nasus because I don't know, he's tall. Good reasoning on that one. Jazz flute, we have another Timo. Timo on jazz flute, man. I think this needs to happen. And then the manager is Draven because he's great with publicity, which is pretty great. All right, so then we got a couple more responses on Facebook. They're all really good. I can't read them all, so I'm just going to read this one here. This one's from Frank. He says, your roundtable question was right up my alley. I have to start with the drummer, which of course is Zillion, because you need someone who can keep time. And also his years of experience would help his technique. Lead guitarist would be Kha'Zix, because his leap would make for some sick stunts on stage. Plus, the longer he plays, the more his style of playing would evolve. Boom. Got him. The bassist would be Zach, because it's important to feel the music. And since he's malleable, he literally vibrates with the music. Plus,
Oh, wow.
if he forgets his instrument, he could just play himself. Boom, there you go. And just like make himself a bass. It's great. And then he said, I would be lead vocal singer because I've experience doing it, and the keyboards and electronics section would be Sona, since harps and pianos are very close, so she fits in to the bill perfectly. Also, Corporate Mundo would be the manager because briefcases, right? Am I right?
No, you're right.
Awesome. So there you go, guys. Thanks for your responses. Again, you can shoot us an email, hillman@leakestpodcast.com to respond, or you can go to Facebook. If you go to Facebook to respond, try to respond to the actual question, like make a reply, because I can't see the posts that show up.
Those posted, those people posted them because I put the question up late.
Lame.
Right.
This Chris guy, never mind. Just do what you normally do because you guys are great. So this week's roundtable question is a little bit different than the last one. This one's a little more serious, a little more up the professional alley. Which champion do you feel has the highest skill cap?
Malzahar.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Rob.
We literally had this conversation the other day. We're like, wow, like
we got that
Malzahar
out
is
of the way.
good. We're just like, I just wish he was fun.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. You guys can, go ahead. Who wants to go first? Raise your hand. And it's Nick Cooper.
Hey, that's me.
Zed. Buh.
No, I don't think Zed has the highest skill cap. I think Cassiopeia has the highest skill cap.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah, to get
Wow.
the absolute maximum DPS, you just have to like weave your spells together perfectly. And if you
Yeah.
don't do it in this proper order, you just look like you're bad at
That's why
League of
bots are
Legends.
so good at it.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Like bots are so good at Cassiopeia because if you do it in the proper order, then she's really strong. But if not, you suck.
Interesting. I could see that. Definitely. Chris.
I'm gonna get flack for this, but Riven
I agree.
is a very high skill cap champion. And let's just keep. So, those of you who are driving your car and had to pull over to just scream at me, like, oh, Riven's overpowered and stupid, she doesn't take any skill. We're talking about skill cap, so we're talking about, like, how hard is this person to master? And regardless of whether or not she's balanced is irrelevant. So, recently, we had the conversations the other day. I played Riven, I think, in a couple of custom games the other night. Last night, actually, I think. And some people turned me on to the world of animation canceling with Riven. And there are specific ways to like do her combos and move around and stuff like that that makes it so that you cut a significant amount of time out of her animations, basically nullifying a lot of them because she's pretty buggy like that, but you can take advantage of it consistently to make things happen for you. And that is just an insane world to live in if you're good at that.
There are other champions who do that as well, though.
Yeah, but like Riven's her entire kit revolves around that mechanic, you know. I'm like,
Yeah,
you can do things like that with everybody. And that's kind of what orb walking is doing that with auto attacks. But like her entire being, her mobility, her damage output, her everything is based around weaving your stuff like that. And I think that's incredibly difficult to do and very impressive. I still fucking hate you if you play Riven, but it's impressive.
Yeah, and I can attest to that. Granted, I was playing Zac top lane, which Frost told me not to do, but I did anyway because fuck it. But that Riven was doing all of those things you're talking about, and auto attacking, between your Qs and animation canceling with your other animations, it's huge. And if you can master all of those little things, then you can actually ride that champion all the way up to challenger like Box. You can do it. I believe in you, community. Who's next?
I can go.
Okay, Whitehair.
I think it's probably Azir, or at least like when I've played of him, I felt like there was just a lot of stuff that could really be done with him. I wasn't aware of a lot of stuff Chris was talking about with Riven, so maybe that is harder, but I've never really given Riven a try. But like playing Azir, there's just so much going on with the positioning of your guys. Like it's not hard to just send 3 in, but when you're constantly rolling those guys and then sometimes like throwing one back so that you can jump to them, or positioning your like soldiers so that they're in front of the guy, or I guess behind him, depending on how you want to look at it, so that when you shield and like dash to them, you hit them and knock them up, and like getting that, and making the plays where you jump behind him and knock them directions with your ult. Like I feel like there's a lot of positioning with him that kind of makes him a really challenging character that, if done right, can be really, really good.
Yeah, and I can agree with that because I remember when Azir came out. I think I played 1 or 2 games with him and basically gave up. I was like, this is not mechanically combining with my playstyle. Like, I'm just not used to playing a champion like that. And so I'd have to probably devote a lot of time in order to get good with him. And I think that that's true for everyone with that champion. Like, he's not hard, he's not easy to play. So,
yeah.
What do you think, Anderson?
I'm having trouble picking one that doesn't sound self-serving. Because I think Anivia is up there.
You're right. I would agree with that.
I would agree with Anivia for sure.
However, I think Callista probably has the highest one right now. Because that passive is really hard to get used to.
The problem with her is that her kit also, in order to be used to its full potential and therefore mastering it, involves another person. So it's hard to really sell, at least me, on that. You know what I mean?
I can't really pick one good one because like Anivia just feels like too self-serving to say that. Like then Callista is just, it's impossible to measure completely without that other person.
I think Anivia is a good answer.
I don't know. I agree with Callista. Anivia as well, but I think Callista is definitely a high skill cap champion. And I watched this video of Piglet playing in solo queue, and he basically 1v4'd on Callista, and he wasn't super fed or anything. It's just if you have good mechanics, it's kind of like a fed Vayne or like a mid-game Vayne. It's just really hard to lock that person down because they know what they're doing and they can use the champion effectively. So I can
I
see
think
that.
Victor used to be up there as well, but since his rework, it's gone down a bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like hit your laser and then do a bunch of damage.
It's just laser, Q, auto attack, ult.
Yep. What do you think, Rick?
The variation, whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, my League of Legends insight is much more valuable than everyone else's is.
Clearly. Clearly.
But I think the mind games of Blitzcrank are incredibly hard to master. It's above in-game skill. It's not just how can you push the buttons in the right way and judge the time. It's how much do you understand of your opponent. Like how much can you read what they're doing? What's going on? How their day's going? What's going on behind the scenes over there? It's a whole nother game, man.
You charge them,
For
press
sure.
S so it looks like you're stopping, and then like they flash like out of the way, and then you shoot the Q
Yeah.
where they land.
Yeah, that dude had a bad day at work, but now you know.
Now he's having a really bad day.
Now you know when to grab him.
Now you know which way he's gonna juke.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just
No,
like
I like
sitting
the
lane.
Blitzcranks that run up to you and then spam laugh, because his laugh animation like throws his hands in the air, and so you like freak out that he's gonna grab it and doesn't. That's pretty good. But
Yeah.
I think that it's interesting that we see Blitzcrank in like mid bronze, which is where I started this season. I saw Blitzcrank all the fucking time, and now that I'm in silver and going back up to gold, you don't
Thresh.
see him at all. But then you see him in LCS play. Like it's just weird that there's like this middle area where nobody's good enough on Blitzcrank to make it worth it, but you're not afraid of him, so you don't ban him, and nobody
I
really
think-
plays him. You know?
I think the value of the character comes from, like, when people are really bad at the game, he's good, and when people are really good at the game, and you know who you're playing against and how they play, then he becomes good again. Because
Yeah.
then you can start actually gauging your opponents and how, like, their play style, and guessing if you put pressure on them in the right way and get them caught up in the moment, which way they'd act.
Mhm.
But then in between, it's like, yeah, there's better choices, obviously, because he's so much an all-in. Like, either you make it or you don't, and then if you don't, great.
Yeah.
But I don't really have an answer. But what about you, Hillman? What do you think?
I think that, and I'm only saying this because I've been playing a lot of Rek'Sai, that Rek'Sai has a really high skill cap. And the reason that I say that is because it took me a while to learn Rek'Sai, and I still don't feel like I'm very good at her. And I think that if you're really good at Rek'Sai, it's all about positioning around the map. She's one of those champions that can really have a huge effect on the game if you know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, then it kind of feels like you're never ganking and you're not really farming and you're just getting behind. And so I feel like high level Rek'Sai is really, really good, and mid tier Rek'Sai is just kind of not at all.
Can I change
So-
my answer?
Sure.
I want to pick Rengar.
Okay.
I feel like the difference between a Rengar who knows what he's doing and the difference between someone learning Rengar is tremendous.
Yeah.
Especially like what Chris said, like triple queuing. I don't know how to do that. It's
Me neither.
so hard to do.
I think they fixed that.
But that's something that they had to fix because people were doing it, and it was like it was very hard to do. But if you
Yeah.
did it, there was no counterplay.
Right.
And I think it's still possible. It's just really hard.
Well, you still get that dude who mained Rengar. What was his name? Remember that dude who only played Rengar?
Oh,
And like,
his
if-
build was like 5 Doran's rings.
yeah, and if you go back and read his guide, like he was winning every game, but if you go back and read his guide, it was like people were asking like, what order do you push your what order are your skill orders when you're going into a fight? He's like, I don't know. I just when the minute I pounce on them, I just hit every button like as much as I can, and then I win. So like he like and it's like
It's
there's an
incredible.
order he does it in. I'm sure he just can't recall it when he's not doing it.
Hmm.
It's kind of like Guitar Hero. Like I'm sure if you were playing Guitar Hero, you could do the notes pretty easily. But if you were like not looking at it and trying to recall it, it would be a lot harder.
I can
There-
perfectly write out the second guitar solo for Cult of Personality.
But do the whole song.
You probably
but-
could.
Do you
Bro,
Red,
realize?
blue, green. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you realize how incredible it is that he can do that? That's like a guitar solo. It's insane.
No,
That-
I'm just kidding. I can't
Oh, okay.
actually.
Like-
but I mean, I can visualize it in my mind, but I
Yeah.
don't think I could write
I
it
mean,
down.
We
well,
should do a Guitar Hero stream.
we're also we
you-
should.
Yeah, we should.
So the similarity would be, all right, you have to explain someone else how to do that entire guitar solo.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be feasible. I couldn't do that.
But there's there's a big difference between strumming and 5 buttons and then 3.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're right, but I don't know. I feel like I get what Nick's saying, because like having tried to teach somebody like a lot of like the fundamental things that like you think about when you're like playing guitar and figuring out like what chord to go to next and stuff like that, like it's something that's really, really simple when you've been doing it for a long time.
Right.
And like you can just look at it and see like patterns and be like, oh, like these are all your options. But then like trying to explain that and put that into words and like break down that whole thought process, it's actually really complicated. It's not something that you can just like pass on like that.
Yeah. So there you go. Which champion do you feel has the highest skill cap? Shoot us emails or Facebook things or whatever, and we'll read them on Roundtable next week. Woohoo! That's it for
Yay.
my section. Move on.
Great. Let's go into LCS shit and things with Mr. Nick Cooper.
That's not what I put on the doc. Thanks,
What
Chris.
LCS stuff?
Thanks, Chris. So we have a couple roster changes this week. So for TSM, Dyrus has been moved to the bot lane and Turtle moved to the top. Reggie was quoted saying, "We wanted a more aggressive top laner and a safer AD carry, so we felt like this would be our best bet." For C9, High has been benched. We felt like having a shot caller with 2 lungs would be more beneficial. We could never hear him in game.
Wow.
For CLG,
Wow.
Hotshot GG has replaced Zion's pardon because Zion sucks lol. Hotshot GG 2015. Team Impulse.
You know they don't remove your lung when it collapses.
Team
right?
Impulse. We will be picking Karthus every game just so Zhao Zhao will be more useful even when he feeds. The roster change for Gravity. Keen has gone back to picking meta champions. Team Liquid. We have decided to bring
GG.
back Keith as he gives us the best opportunity to win. That one was really hard to say with a straight face because it's actually true. Teammate Maple Street wear shoes now. Winter Fox.
That's it. Okay.
Winter Fox. Their roster changes were reverted back to Imagine, Alltech, and I don't know, Paragon being their coach. Dignitas, Cutie Pie's back, and Coast. They've changed all their names to Vayne so that when teams try to call out Kill Vayne, they're too confused to do anything, giving Coast a free win.
Perfect. Perfect.
Wait, did you say TSM? Because I missed it.
Yeah, TSM, Dyrus moved to bot lane, Turtle moved to top. We wanted a more aggressive top laner and a safer AD carry, so this felt like our best bet.
It's good, man.
All right.
That's good, man. I like
Thanks.
that.
Accurate.
I like the high
Thanks.
shot color one. That's hilarious. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
kind of crossed the
Oh,
line.
and just to clarify, Henderson, you're right. They don't take out his lung, but he doesn't use it anymore.
You know who does have 2 lungs?
No.
Incarnation.
That's true.
All right,
So I say
so
you're not wrong.
let's do the overview. EU, SK secures first, Fnatic second, and for NA, TSM takes first, C9 second. So it's just real
TSM the
quick.
dream.
I mean, it was they would have to lose to Coast for them to not secure first place. So
Yep.
it was all but locked. Coast actually gave Urgot his first loss in the LCS. Thanks, Man Cloud.
Good job, Coast.
GG, man, Cloud.
The standings for EU: SK 15-3, securing first place. Fnatic 13-5, H2K 12-6, Gambit 10-8, Unicorns of Love 9-9, Copenhagen Wolves 8-10, Elements 7-11, Rocat 6-12, Giants 6-13, and MYM 5-14.
So to clarify, there
And-
was one tiebreaker game, and it
Yeah.
was for 9th place in EU.
Yes.
Ouch.
So
I mean, and both teams get relegated, don't they?
I think so, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I don't think they get relegated. I think they drop to the promotion tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think only 10th place gets relegated.
Right. Yeah. Meet your makers. Time to meet your makers.
Wow, got him.
Coast, it's time to meet your makers. TSM first place 13 and 5, C9 second place 13 and 6, CLG Choke City 12 and 7, Team
Ouch.
Impulse 11 and 7. I mean they choked super fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
Gravity 10 and 8, Team Liquid 10 and 9, breaking the 4th place curse.
Boy.
It happened.
Boy, yeah, but they still pretty much
happened.
almost tied with Gravity, but for some place. Almost a fourth.
Team 8, 9 and 10. I'm really disappointed Team 8 didn't go 8 and 8. Winter Fox 7 and 11, Dignitas 6 and 12, and Coast the Coast of NA
More
is
like
1 and 17.
Dignit Toxic. 1 and 17
Nice.
Coast.
1 and 17 Coast.
I'm
So
really
we won't
really
be
mad they
seeing
didn't
them-
go 0 to 18.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're getting auto relegated, right?
10th place gets auto relegated. I think 7th, 8th, and 9th drop down to the promotion
Promotional.
tournament.
1 through 6 playoffs.
Yeah, 1 through 6 playoffs.
All right, my
I do
boys
believe
are
that'll
still in
work.
this. They got to bring back the boy though.
And 1 and 2 will obviously have first round buys. So
Did you know that Voy Boy is still listed as an
Sub.
alternate for Team Liquid? Yeah. So
Yeah,
we
that
just
doesn't
gotta
surprise me.
slip something into Phoenix's food, and then Liquid will go to Worlds and win.
I don't think I've said anything like negative or positive about Phoenix since he played Azir in like
Yeah.
week 2.
Yeah.
Like he's just been average, I would say.
You know, he's just whatever. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's just fine. He's
So actually,
he was like how the odd one used to be before he got bad and stopped playing.
yeah. So I think 7th place, actually nothing happens to 7th place. 8th and 9th get demoted to the promotion tournament, and then 10th place is auto relegated. I think that's how it works out. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool, man. Thanks.
And then games to watch for this week, it's going to be the first round of the playoffs. So if you're not excited about those games, I'm not sure why you're a League of Legends fan or LCS fan, because those are the most exciting games outside of international tournaments.
Yay.
So all of them.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay, Hype City. Great.
Check them out.
Awesome. Cool. Let's move on then. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
You're welcome, Chris.
We got a full section of mail fight now, don't we there, Rick?
As always. So, first question comes from Ryan, which actually came through our, what do you call it? The question?
Oh,
What's that thing on our website
the
called?
form.
The suggestion box?
No.
The question form on the LeagueCast web page thing.
War-
The Warfinch
Media.
webpage.
Well, it's on the LeagueCast. It's on the LeagueCast page
Section of the
of
Warfinch.com
warfinch.com/league.
/leaguecast.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so go there. You can also put questions in there, like Ryan did. So Ryan wants to know, how do you combat AFKers in ranked play? Are there certain strategies to implement when you have an AFK player to prevent a loss? I've only played around 40 ranked games, but seem to deal with an AFK player on my team about half of the time, whether it be for an entire game or just for a chunk of one. He says he was placed in Bronze 1, struggling to get out due to this. He'll go on a decent win streak, and then suddenly lose because someone will go AFK. So, also, are they more common or less common in higher, like he says elos, but higher ranks? Once he finally gets out of bronze. So, what's the deal with AFK players? Basically, is the question. And what do you do?
They become less common as you get out of bronze. They still exist, but they become less common.
I have a preemptive strategy for dealing with them, and I think we've all mentioned this before, but when you're in champion select, if somebody on the other team dodges, go ahead and press that little X at the top, like when it throws you back into queue again, go ahead and don't accept the next game or press the little X, and then just wait maybe 30 seconds and queue up again, because there's a chance that the person on the other team dodged or didn't select the champion because something happened, or maybe there is some toxicity going on in their champion select chat and stuff, and that led somebody to dodge because they figured they'd rather take the 5-minute penalty and the 4 LP loss or whatever it is than play with these people. because if you don't do that, it's just gonna shuffle up all those people and then put you back in a game with like the remaining 9, or I guess remaining 9 with you included, and then one more person that it grabbed. So just kind of, I wouldn't bet that it wasn't a case like that. So I always, when I'm doing ranked games, if somebody dodges on the enemy team, I'll just leave and wait like 30 seconds before I queue up again.
And I don't know. I was in Browns 1 this season. I felt it. I definitely, it's when I started there, I felt like pretty much every game or every other game, I was getting like one person who would just rage quit, and I just couldn't figure it out. Um, and I think the main thing you have to do, and this is really hard for me, is that you have to talk. You have to talk to your team, and that was difficult for me to do because I'm one of those people who will sit in champ select and not say anything and just wait for everybody else to pick and then just kind of pick whatever. And that's fine. But a lot of times you'll have people who are fighting each other, right? And you have two people who want to go mid lane and neither of them are ready to give in. So they both pick a mid lane champion. And then you're in the middle of this game with two mid laners. And now you're kind of like just waiting for one of those people to go AFK. And it's those kind of situations you need to actually actively try to avoid. And the best way to do that is to just be positive and just say, hey guys, one of you should play mid, the other can take AD carry, I'll go support, whatever. And, those sort of things are difficult to do, but it will help because a lot of times I feel like AFKers are just there because they just AFK because they're having a bad game. And typically, if you have a bad game, it's because of the people you're playing with and they're like shitting on you. And it's not because you're losing. It could be because you're losing as well, but it just compounds. And so you want to try to avoid those situations. Tell your team to relax and just play the game and give advice, group up. Hey, let's do dragon, that sort of stuff. It just helps to keep everybody kind of in a positive mood and then you have less AFKs.
One thing I wish League of Legends did, sorry, Rick,
No, please.
is that Dota does, is Dota actually loads the entire map before you select your heroes or your champions. So that way, if any people who have connection problems try to load into the game and they don't connect because of connection issues, the game doesn't start and it remakes the game for you. So you don't have to, like, you would never play a ranked game where someone will do champ select and then their connection just drops in the load screen because you do the load screen before champ select.
Right.
And I think that's how you should do ranked play for League of Legends.
So what you're saying is we should just play Dota 2 instead.
He
Yeah,
kind of,
go
he
play
kind of is
Dota
saying
2.
that. He kind of is.
No,
saying
not a
that.
bad
I'm just
choice.
saying that's how League of Legends should be
There are worse games.
loaded.
I
I
think there's
think
at least
the-
one.
Smite.
I think the majority of the people he's talking about, though, are people who actually leave, not
Yeah.
disconnection.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
In high elo, it also it happens a lot, but only because certain things don't happen in a game. Like a lot of the times I'll have people say, if you don't gank my lane, I'm just gonna AFK in my games. And it's kind of petty, but one of the things that I feel is kind of helpful is if they do go AFK, just immediately type in all chat, report so and so for
Yep.
AFKing. And at least usually then they're doing something on the map. So they're not reported for AFK. But I don't know if for
No, it's a passive aggressive one. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes they just like stop talking and just keep playing.
yeah.
But we are kind of leaving out the possibility of winning the 4v5.
Okay.
Well, that's the
So-
thing. Go on.
So because I feel like I have a lot of experience in winning 4v5s. Henderson last season was getting into gold and we won a 4v5 to get him into gold. And I feel like the biggest thing you should do is stop laning phase immediately. If someone AFKs, you need to group up and push something. You are stronger than them for the time being. You will have more experience spread out across your team, and that one champion difference doesn't make
A huge impact. Yeah.
early in the game.
Especially if you catch them off guard because they're still in laning phase mode, and you gank, you 4-man gank a lane, get a free kill, and then push an objective and get more gold.
Exactly. 4-man gank a lane, get a tower, start pushing the other one as soon as the enemy team comes to, pressure against you. Group up somewhere else, go push mid, go take a dragon, something like that. Back, get buffs. But the point is, you have to group up as fast as you can.
Well, the only issue I have with that, Nick, is the only reason we won that game was because both you and I got ludicrously fed in laning phase.
Well, that's what he's saying. You got to get fed it early because you have that advantage, that small advantage, and you need to push it. Because if you hadn't pushed that advantage, you wouldn't have gotten super fed, and then it would have been more even, and you would have lost late game.
I'm saying it's like one of those things where it was like, I got 3 solo kills in the first 5 minutes of the game, and then Nick and them were doing fine down bottom kind of thing. But I got those solo kills, and then I started ganking bottom, getting him super fed, super fast as well. And then we started ganking top as well, and then it just got to a point where we were able to push them down to like their inhibitor turrets before they started catching up. At which point, it pretty much came down to a lucky team fight where they screwed up a Baron pull, and we killed all of them and finished the game before they respawned.
Right. So yeah, it's an uphill battle, but it doesn't mean you can't be smart about it, is what Nick is saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't think immediately ending laning phase is the right way to do it, though.
Well, if you have an AFK from the very beginning of the game, obviously you want to lane, because there will be more global experience spread out more equally among the champions. So you'll all be higher level than the other team because there's less players competing for the same amount of experience.
Right.
But you should look to end laning phase as early as you feel comfortable doing.
Yeah, and I want to touch on one more thing because this was actually a good example that Doom brought up in chat. I had a match actually when I was doing some of my placements to get into promotion to get back into silver, and the jungler locks in and he's picking with somebody else, and that other guy locks in Shaco, and then we were like, oh, so I guess we have double jungle. And I was playing AD carry, and I was playing Ezreal, so I didn't have a support. And I was basically just 1v2ing down bot lane while they just jerked off in the jungle. And basically all I did all game was just be supportive and tell people, hey, this is fine. Let's just roll with this. And I ended up playing super safe. I actually got a couple kills down bot lane because I had 2 junglers. And so they both came, both ganked, and then it was a 3v2 with Rengar and Shaco and Ezreal. So we ended up doing a lot of damage. And that was the thing, like, that kind of stuff is going to happen, and you just have to let it, you can't let it phase you. You just have to go with it, and we ended up winning that game. I mean, you just got to kind of roll with those punches. Even if you get somebody who AFKs, just roll with it.
All right. We'll move on to the next question from Blake. I'm not sure exactly how to read this. It's kind of a story, but it's told in the first person. So it's the big man Steve saw me fighting a champion and thought, hey, let me throw this dank rocket over there and hit the guy who was low HP and almost killed him. But fear not, because our Lord and Savior, Gromp himself, spit his fiery rage upon our enemy and exterminated him. Hey, have you guys ever experienced something weird, interesting like this in League before? I'm not exactly sure what happened in that story.
So Gromp killed somebody that they were fighting for them.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out all the details. I don't know who Steve is.
I think it was like a Jinx rocket.
Steve is somebody in the TeamSpeak.
Oh,
yes.
oh.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
My main man Steve, who him and I went fishing the other day in my dream. I had a dream that we went fishing. It was great.
Wow, that's adorable.
For his birthday.
There are a lot of Steves in this world.
Yeah, but there's only one in our TeamSpeak.
Yeah, I didn't know if this.
One on our stream.
I don't know people's name.
He was shirtless.
Oh, your dad.
Oh yeah, your dad.
My dad is a Steve.
Nah, man, he missed a Henderson. Or Perky Nips.
Right, so crazy stuff like this. What do you think?
My middle name is Steve, so I mean, shit.
Without
Dude,
none?
mine too. What the fuck?
My dad's middle name is Steve too.
Is it really?
Yeah, without an N, just Steve.
Oh, mine's Steven.
Guys,
Yeah, I thought that...
There's like 4 different conversations happening, right? Anyway.
So what do you think? Any interesting stories like this with your Lord and Savior Gromp, or anyone's Lord and Savior saving you, I guess?
Not Grompus, but probably... I always really like it when somebody has a Sunfire cape and they walk like around a really thin wall next to a camp, and the camp just like bum rushes them out of jungle. Krugs are really good at doing that. Wraith camp. Back in the day when it used to be Wraith camp, they just like come around the goal like, wah! And you're like, what the fuck? What did I do? Really funny.
I always really enjoy when you manage to kill somebody by auto-attacking Baron over the pit wall, and then Baron kills them with his auto-attack.
Yeah.
Or like
Dragon.
Jinx rocket into the middle of Baron. It hits and doesn't kill anybody, and then all of a sudden, double kill, triple kill, and you're like, oh, sweet. But also have Arcane shifted over the Krugs wall and got blown up because Krugs were there. And I didn't know that.
They do a lot of
And I died.
damage. They do a
a
lot.
lot of
That
damage.
happened in a professional game.
Did it really?
It did. Slushy was playing LeBlanc, and he was ganking someone who was playing Maokai, and Maokai was trying to get away. He twisted advance, which is his W, to Krugs for the kind of movement. And then Slushy just aggroed the Krugs and then stood right there
Yeah, I
and didn't
remember
do
that.
anything. Krugs killed Maokai, and it was hilarious. It was the best thing ever.
It's funny.
Sushi just stood there and he was like,
Yeah.
you're gonna die to
Style
Krugs.
points.
I'll let you die.
Anybody else?
I
can't
know. It's
think of
not
anything
so much
offhand.
using the minions to kill stuff that's interesting, but I think like a lot of super neat plays happen just at the Baron pit. Because I can recall
Definitely.
at least one incident where I managed to pick up a quadra kill at Baron and Victor just by, this is old Victor, just by flashing over the wall, laser ulting, and then, it took out 2 of them instantly, and then the other 2 got picked up by Baron before they could do anything. It's just one of those things where the big minions in jungle make shit interesting. That's the thing I really like about those.
We've been saying it for years, kids. If you're ahead, don't do Baron.
Right.
No.
All right, last question comes from Nicholas. Being that new champ cinematics are becoming more prevalent, out of the existing champs that you haven't seen in a cinematic, who would you want to see a cinematic of? And would there be another champion they are interacting with, or would it be just them, i.e. Twist of Fate and Fiddle, or Garen and Katarina like we saw in a Twist of Fate?
Matt Hillman.
Dude.
Nick is
wanna
losing his mind over there. I can
But-
see
I
it.
wanna see
Please,
some-
Nick,
I'm
take the
losing
floor.
it because
Kinda.
first off, hey Nicholas, nice name. Hype. The best champion. There's only one answer for this really, and that would be Jarvan, because seeing his ultimate go off
He
would
was
be
technically in the
crazy.
Dominion cinematic that was never fully released.
Dominion doesn't count as it's not canon.
It's not
Did you beat
canon.
that card game?
Dominion is the GT of League of Legends.
GT is canon.
It's not canon.
You're
Oh my
just
God,
dumb.
practice again.
You're
Let's
just
move on.
stupid.
Okay, but Jarvan's ultimate, like Cataclysm happening with a sick fucking like cinematic visuals would be crazy. It would be the
Can
best.
you imagine an FMV version of Thresh? We need this. I need this.
That sounds boring.
What about Syndra, dude?
What
That
about
also
Syndra?
sounds boring.
The
Oh,
Syndra lore needs to
yeah,
happen.
it
for
does.
real.
It does.
I
They need to.
see. I want a short film that's the Warwick and Soraka
That's a good
backstory.
story too.
Yeah, that's a good story.
Yeah.
Oh wait, rip lore.
I-
Never mind.
Shut
Okay.
up, Roman, it's happening.
Desperately want to see a Yordle take out somebody full size. Like, can you just imagine like Poppy running up to somebody the size of Garen, like jumping up to head level and then just smashing them with her hammer?
I have something for you. If you
I
want to
think it
go
would
watch
just be
the,
the funniest looking thing.
if you want to go watch Star Wars Episode 3, there's a whole lot of scenes with Yoda doing things that he shouldn't be doing. So
You did,
Lucas has already got you covered.
I remember watching that and just having my mind blown and being like, "This is the coolest part of this movie."
Fuck that! Why was he
In the-
using
in
a
the
sword?
first-
He's too
awesome.
tiny.
My he pulled out that like lightsaber. I just remember like
Losing your
13,
shit.
14 people in the theater just going, "Oh shit!"
That what, like when they were fighting in that big like room, whatever that council room
Yes,
is.
where it's that big competition of force powers, and Yoda pulls out his lightsaber for the first time to beat up Dooku.
Mm-hmm.
What episode of Star Wars are you talking
I
about?
think that's
'Cause
2.
This is near the end of episode 2, the first time Yoda uses his
Yoda
lightsaber.
dies in number 2.
Spoilers.
You
Are
mean
you-
you mean
No.
5?
No,
5.
You
Yoda
mean 5.
dies in friggin'
You mean 2?
Oh, I see what you're doing here.
It's like GT. It's not canon, right, Nick Cooper? Like Decatur, am I right?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I
Fuck
thought
the
that was
canon.
Now
dead.
the only
I
ones
thought
that
that
are
was dead.
canon are the movies.
I made that joke at work earlier, and people liked me
No.
because I made that joke.
No, we're not. The Dragon Ball movies can't be canon. There's no way
Dragon
that
Ball
the puppy.
Dragon Ball movies are not canon. Dragon Ball GT, the series, is
Yeah.
canon.
Did you see that? Did
Hey,
you see that movie
did
with
you
the
know-
with the Anubis puppy?
Did you know? Yes, I did. War of Gods or
pretty
whatever.
bad.
It was alright, whatever.
Battle
Battle
That-
of the
that
Gods.
last
one.
battle is pretty
Hey,
weak.
did you know that Mystic Gohan is the strongest non-fused character in the universe, and therefore
Are you-
he's the best?
I'm not
What's
wrong.
that dude's name? What's that dude's name that you're making fun?
Beerus?
With no, he's like the
Me?
the horribly racist black man that
Me?
hangs out.
Oh, you're talking about Mr.
Mr.
Popo?
Popo?
Mr.
Yeah.
Popo.
You sound like Mr. Popo there. Go back and look at a picture of Mr. Popo. That's
Mr.
fucking
Popo.
racist.
Mr. Popo's amazing. He's amazing. Welcome
I'll
to
put in a
Dragon
picture
Ball
in
Z cast. I'm sorry.
We should
Yeah, Dragon
we should
Ball Z,
Popo
not
and,
GT,
Dragon
because
Ball
it's
Z
not canon.
abridged.
What about is
Can we
Dragon
do
Ball
a-
canon?
Yeah, Dragon
Yeah.
Ball's canon.
we should
fuck
Chris,
you.
we should.
Dragon Ball was in the manga.
We should we should
Exactly.
do a spoiler cast of just talking about Dragon Ball Z.
Or we should do a thing where we just like watch like 10 episodes a week and do a podcast.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Nick Cooper, you
Brother,
went in.
Goku. Do we have to rewatch
Matt
it?
Hillman,
I
you
watched
went
it
in?
like 30 times.
Did you say
I
10
will
episodes?
only
whoa,
in
okay, hang on.
this
Hold on.
podcast if we
Did
can
you say-
watch the anime Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt and record
What the
it.
fuck?
I don't even know what that was. Did you say 10 episodes? Because that would be like a 3-minute podcast.
Well, if we're doing like a narrative summary, I suppose, but we're not.
No, we're doing an in-depth
So
analysis.
they held their hands behind them like this for like 10 minutes, and then they went to commercial break, and then when they came back from commercial break, they were still holding their hands like
That's
this.
why I'm saying
and
10
then
minutes.
they
That's
were
why 10
about to
episodes.
shoot it, and then the episode was over.
That's why we're doing
Alright.
10, so something can
Alright.
happen.
All right, I'm gonna tell you guys something that no one should ever know about Matt Hillman, but I know, so I have to share it.
He's Mr.
Matt
Popo.
Hillman has
Loves
not
lettuce.
seen all of Dragon Ball Z.
What?
He has not
I
seen
haven't.
anything.
Please.
He hasn't seen since halfway through Cell Saga.
What?
No, let me correct you.
He hasn't
I've
seen the end of Cell
seen-
Saga.
I've seen on and off the episodes past that, but I haven't actually watched them all in order.
Wait, but if the important thing is that you didn't finish Cell Saga?
Wait, you didn't finish Cell?
No, I know how it ends.
That's like the best
but I haven't
saga.
finished
Exactly.
That's the
Cell
best
Saga.
saga. You
Exactly.
need
That
to
was the
finish
best
that. You
saga.
need to finish it. You need to finish
I like
it.
I like the
I'll
Majin
buy
Buu
it,
stuff
then I'll
too.
watch it. Fuck.
He's
The
gone.
Majin
He's
Buu-
gonna go watch
Good.
The
Dragon Ball
Buu,
Z.
He
the
needs
Buu
to do
saga was
that.
pretty good too.
The
I like
Buu, I liked the Buu saga too. It was fine.
It's fun. It was fun.
Yeah, it was
It's fun.
It
And
was
then you got
fun.
like teenage Boo, and it's scary.
I really liked
Yeah,
Hercule.
he's
Hercule
mean.
was a cool one, and they had that puppy, and then they had that whole love story with him and Boo. That was great.
Yeah, I mean the whole even in Dragon Ball, like that whole like first tournament, like all the tournaments are so cool.
Anyway, so a cinematic, another one that I'd really like to see, based off of the League of Legends champion,
Wait,
Goku
League
versus
of
Would-
Legends?
Vegeta.
would be probably
Ooh, that'd be a good cinematic.
would be probably. I'd like to see some more stuff with Braum. I think he's cool. I like his personality and the stuff that goes with him.
Well, but just like him snowboarding or something.
Yeah, no, that'd be fine. I want to see a cinematic with him in it though, because I feel like they did that cartoon animation of him picking up that poro and giving him like the mustache and stuff, but a fully realized cinematic Braum would just be really, really awesome. With the shield and shit, like throwing the shield around, and, like shooting ice and like knocking people up with a huge like avalanche and crap. That's awesome.
There has to be a similar intro scene as to his teaser trailer with the Poro, though.
Yeah.
What
I
if
think
there was
the best
one?
cinematic.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead, please
the
go ahead.
best cinematic that they've done, I think, was the one where they were all fighting in the jungle with Ari and Leona. That one I thought was so good because you actually got to see some of the moves from League
Yeah,
of Legends, like
yes.
fully animated. I
Yes.
thought that was kind of cool.
Except for the part where Nautilus killed Graves. That part was weird.
He's meta champion now, Chris. So
I know,
It kind of fits.
I know, but not at the time he wasn't.
True.
We were just like, that would never happen. Although Nautilus was the coolest champion in that entire cinematic.
He was
His
baller.
his E was the best.
It was like, when you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
That was really cool.
All right, Chris.
Yes.
Fatal four-way. Chaozu, Mr. Popo, Tien, and Nappa. What do you think?
TN.
A fatal four-way?
Yeah.
Ghost Nappa.
Who would win?
TN.
Are we talking about the original universe, or are we
TN.
talking about or we stop? You fucking love TN. Are we talking?
Tien's gonna just take. Tien's gonna use his eye and then kill himself.
If we're talking
Please.
about, if we're
does
talking
Andrew
about,
Shane, the Saiyans, can kill anyone on Earth except for other Saiyans.
None of those
Guess
are
what
Saiyan. None of those are
except
Saiyan.
for Nappa?
Oh, is Nappa a Saiyan? That's
Yeah.
right.
yeah,
but
Guess
Nappa's
when Nappa
stupid.
died?
but Nappa's
Before
dumb.
TN
Nappa's
did.
dumb.
Nappa's
so,
dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Chaozu
Nappa
like
was
doesn't
killed by
die.
another
Nappa beat the
Saiyan.
shit out of TN, and then Nappa
Yeah,
died.
when it happened, so then TN got stronger because he was alive.
Yeah, but he's not a Saiyan. That
No, he's
doesn't work
dead.
for them. They have to keep training.
I think-
Saiyans get stronger
think-
the closer they are to death before they come back.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Nappa's dead.
Oh, you're right.
He is only
Not
as strong
wrong.
as he is until he died.
Anyway, wait, so if we're talking about the Dragon Ball Z
Being dead in
abridged
Dragon Ball Z doesn't mean
series,
anything.
the Dragon Ball Z abridged series, Mr. Popo would win because he's like a god.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
scared.
in that
What about
series.
Ghost Nappa?
Ghost Nappa, yeah. Tien would probably win in that
I want to
four-way.
pull for Chaozu though. I want to pull. I think he put
Chao
up a good fight.
Chaozu has less fighting power. He has a lower power level than Chi-Chi does.
Yeah, but he
Boom.
can like go poof. He can turn into smoke, can he? Isn't that one of his things he does?
He-
Whoa, I
something.
didn't know
no,
this was Naruto.
he blows himself up. That's what he does.
Oh, that's right. That's
yeah,
what he does.
he has a whole bunch of
So,
cast on death gems in his shit,
So,
right? What here?
is Malphite over?
Oh, sorry. Yes, we were in a Dragon Ball Z
Huh?
section of the show.
I
We
just,
have
I
a
just found
podcast
that.
for
I've,
that.
I've never watched Dragon Ball Z or
What?
found it appealing at all.
Well, I
and
put something in the chat for all you guys looking for the mid card. So the mid card fights. So
Anyway,
whatever. We're done.
okay. If you want to send us an email, you can send it to mail@leaguecastpodcast.com, and then we'll read it and send you back a response and or talk about it or deal with it on the show and stuff like that. So if that's something you're interested in, it's something we're interested in, you should do that. Other than that, though, you should go visit our website at warfinch.com for a bunch of other like interesting things, like another podcast, blog posts. If you want to see what we look like, because you haven't like been on the stream, which is weird because you should, because we stream every single week at the same time. We start Casual Cast and LeagueCast back-to-back streaming on our Twitch .tv channel, just twitch.tv/Warfinch Media. Yeah, one word. And we start that at about 7 p.m. Central Time, and then around 8:30-ish, we start LeagueCast. And then we've also got a Patreon if you want to help support us and get some cool stuff for doing so. Like access to our third podcast, Vaultcast, which is a premium show. We just finished doing a cool episode about Assassin's Creed Rogue, where Nick and I basically geek out about Assassin's Creed for about an hour and a half and tell you about that game, as Matt Hillman, who didn't play it, questions us about it, which made for a really interesting conversation.
It did.
So yeah, there's that. All that and more at warfinch.com. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
So who else is watching this bomb ass Krillin Chaozu fight?
Okay.
Wait, this is really bad.
Goodbye, stream.
Yeah, it is.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
I skipped to 2 of 2.